Hello and welcome to the Sound Lab podcast interviews, unedited. On today's show, interviews with Amy Atkinson, 88 Miles, Riding the Low and Terminal Sleep. Plus, we throw back to 2000 Trees Festival 2022 to chat to the Amazon. So without further ado, let's start off with our first interview from Amy Atkinson, who's just been releasing some new music. Amy Atkinson, how are you?
Hello, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. So we've been playing a new single of yours called Dare for Love. Tell us a bit about the single, first of all.
So, Dare for Love was kind of inspired from my passion for Eurovision. So, I'm a big fan of Eurovision. It's always been a dream of mine to perform at Eurovision. And I got asked by San Marino, which is a small country within Italy, to write a song for their entry, like a competition, their entry into the Eurovision. So I got together with my friends Steve Anderson and Terry Ronald, and we wrote this song together. And it's just all of our love for that sort of Eurovision sound in one song. Sadly, we didn't get through to Eurovision, but we were left with this song, and we didn't want it to sort of disappear, into the ether. So we've kind of built a whole album around this one song. So yeah, we're super proud of it.
Well, that is the good news to come out of the sad news that you didn't get on
Yeah, yeah.
Eurovision. So positives there. And you mentioned the album. The album is out now. Tell us a bit about it for those who've not had a chance to listen to it yet.
So that album is called Queen. It was all inspired by Dare for Love, really. And then also I wanted to put on there some songs that have kind of shaped my career in musical theatre. So we've got some songs from Six, we've got songs from Pretty Woman, but I've kind of done my own sort of dark pop twist on them. So it's not just originals. There are some covers on there as well.
Yeah, was it pretty straightforward to pick kind of the covers that you were going to do?
I think so, because I just took my favorite songs, from the shows that I've been in, and the songs that sort of really spoke to me and yeah, lent themselves more to that sort of poppy sound. But it was super fun sort of collating it all and putting it all together and doing all the arrangements and everything was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also a remix EP that you've released as well. What was the reason behind doing that?
Yes, well, Dare for Love again. It was just it started this whole project, and we feel like so connected to that song that again we wanted to get more of a remix vibe so people can dance along to it in the clubs. And we released it with Pride, and we just wanted it to be about sort of letting yourself go and just having a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to talk about the writing side of things as well. So for you, how do tracks normally start off when it comes to writing?
Oh, I guess for me, it always starts with a melody. And then whatever I'm kind of feeling at the time, so the lyrics sort of come from there. But mostly it starts from me sat at the piano, sort of tinkling about on the piano for a few hours and then coming up with a melody and then thinking, right, what am I feeling right now? What do I want to say? So that's sort of where it births from.
Nice, nice. And people will know you not just from the pop music you've started to do, but from musical theatre as well. Tell us about how you got into that.
Well, musical theatre, oh my gosh, it was always a dream of mine to be on stage, to be in theatre, but I wasn't really sure how to go about it. So when I was 19, a friend of mine was auditioning for this voice competition called the BBC Voice of Musical Theatre competition. And he was really nervous, and he was like, Amy, come down and support me at the audition. So I went down, and so that day, been a big disaster at this theatre. Like the technical rehearsal had gone terribly, so there wasn't many people auditioning. So I was just sat outside, waiting for my friend. And this woman came out, and she was like, "Do you want to sing?" And I've never done this in my life. I'm a super shy person. For whatever reason, I went, yeah, okay, I'll sing. And it completely changed my life. I went in, I sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and yeah, I'd never had anyone of sort of worth or notoriety say anything good about me. So it really inspired me to kind of keep going. And I ended up winning that competition, which is just crazy. And that's how I got into musical theatre. And that's how this whole sort of journey started, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were kind of you were part of the original cast of Six, the musical, which I'm going to see in October.
Oh, amazing.
Which I can't wait for. But you're also in Saving Mozart right now. Tell us
Yes.
a bit about that.
I'm actually sat in a technical rehearsal now for the show. We open tonight. Um, It's amazing. I'm having the best time on the show. So it's a musical about Mozart. I play Mozart's sister, Nanelle, and she was sort of like the original prodigy. She was his inspiration. And as you know, a woman in history, it's kind of been erased through time that she was actually this amazing composer and this amazing musician. So we've got an amazing pop score by this incredible writer called Charlie Eglinton. She's just absolutely sublime, and she's managed to sort of intersperse some of Mozart's classical pieces into this pop score. And yeah, it's super exciting. I'm very, very honoured to be here, and I'm excited to see what audiences think of the show, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And looking to the future, is it more the musical theatre side of things you're going to keep going down, or do you think you might take that turn into the pop music world kind of properly?
Oh, I mean, I think for me, I'd love to like straddle both worlds and be able to do both things. I don't know if that's possible, but I'd love to live in a world where I can be releasing my own music, but also doing what I love and still doing theatre. So yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to do both until one of them sort of sways me over the edge.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've spoken to enough musical theatre artists now who release their own music as well
Oh
as doing
yeah,
it, so it's possible. It's
yeah,
possible.
yeah. I think so. I think it's possible too.
And hope you enjoyed the interview there with Amy Atkinson. Now, we are all over social media, so come and find us at The Sound Lab, yes, on all the socials. And you can also check out the website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk. Now, while you go and find us on all the socials and give us some follows, we're going to play you our next interview from 88 Miles. Had a chat with them at Truck Festival just a couple of weeks ago to talk about new music and more, and this is what they had to say. So, 88 Miles. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. You're here at Truck Festival. How's your weekend been?
Oh, it's just, this festival is like no other, and just can't explain. It's just amazing. We've been lucky enough to play here the last 3 years, so it's our favourite ever.
Yeah, it is a good festival. Who have you seen this weekend?
Some real standout ones. Obviously, we watched Wonder Horse, Blossoms representing. Who else? CMAT was amazing as well, and Hard Life as well. They were great. We've seen so many that I can't think of them now.
Good lineup though, isn't it?
Amazing, as always.
Once you finish here this weekend, what's your plan next?
Next week we've got Why Not, and then and then we've got 110 Above Festival in I think it's Leicestershire, and then finishing off with This Feeling by the Sea in Bridlington Spa, and Sonic Boom Festival in Burton-on-Trent, where I'm from. So that's going to be great. But yeah, so we're kind of halfway through the festival season now. So we're still non-stop at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's very exciting. So
Good.
Yeah.
Good. And are you hoping to be back in the studio at some point?
Yes, fingers crossed. We've got a couple of songs that we're just literally just in the final stages of, and then hopefully on the back end of this year we can get back into the studio and start doing some more songs, because we've got lots more that are just like sitting there at the moment.
Good. Yeah, good. How are they sounding?
Very well. The ones that we're about done, I'm really happy with how they're sounding, and it's just we've kind of been working on them for a long time, so they end up becoming like my babies, and I'm always like, I'm not too sure about this bit, and we just go over and over and over it. But I think they're gonna be good. I'm hoping people are gonna like them.
Good.
They're sounding good, yeah.
Good. And when it comes to writing, how do tracks normally start off for you?
For me, It's one of those where I just kind of start playing guitar and finding different, chords that I've not already used and stuff like that, and then I kind of mumble words to it and then focus on the words then, and so it's kind of I know a lot of people write the lyrics down, but for us it's kind of like guitar and lyrics like at the same time, like chords and lyrics and stuff. So that's normally how it starts off. Yeah.
Nice. Is the lyrics quite straightforward, or can it be a bit of a challenge at times?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like you have to be in the right kind of mood. Like sometimes I'll sit down and I'll be like, why can't I write any music today? But I think then sometimes you'll sit down and you could just come up with a whole song, like in 5 minutes, all the lyrics and everything. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it depends. Depends what kind of mood you're in.
Yeah. And once you've kind of got your demos sorted, how straightforward is it to take it from that demo to a finished track when you go in the studio?
To be fair, we kind of, I think we're quite efficient in the studio. We make sure that we pretty much know exactly how we want the song to sound. I mean, it kind of ends up changing a little bit in the studio, but we make sure that our demos are quite, what's the word, full before we go into the studio, and then it kind of is then a smooth transition. Like I say, we do add the odd different parts, and we get a bit more creative in the studio then.
Yeah.
But I would say having a full demo already kind of makes it a bit easier then going in.
Nice. I'd like to find out from new artists who we get to interview, why did you get into music, how did you guys form, and why this sort of music as well?
Well, me personally getting into music, I remember there was when I was at primary school, there was a couple of drum sets in the hall. In every assembly we would have like one of the teachers playing on piano and then the students playing on drums, and I was like, I want to do that. And that's kind of how it started for me, and so it started with drums, and then throughout high school and stuff ended up just start singing and trying to teach myself how to play guitar. And then we found each other. We went to BIM University in Birmingham, and we all met there. And we've all got kind of similar stories then of how we first started music. But we just thought I'm pretty sure we had to make a band for an assignment or something like that. And we were like, go on then, we'll just make a band. And then it just turned into this.
Yeah.
And it feels so long ago, but I don't know. It's been a really lovely journey.
Good. And you must have some aspirations of things you want to achieve. What's one thing you really want to do?
Well, after watching Blossoms on Friday, it's been a dream for a while, but I would absolutely love to support Blossoms one day. Actually one of our tutors from BIM, Colette, she plays in Blossoms. She does like guitar and percussion and keys and stuff in Blossoms. So we're always talking to her. It's like, how is it on tour with them and all this and that? And I'm just hoping one day we can make it happen, because I love their music and it's really inspiring. So it'd be really, really lovely to support them. Yeah.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with 88 Miles from Truck Festival 2025. Now, if you are listening to us on Spotify, then you'll be pleased to hear we also have a fresh playlist to bring you. 150 brand new up-and-coming artists that we feel like you might just enjoy yourself. And if you want to check that out, head to our website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk, and click on the Fresh Playlist button, or head to Spotify and search Fresh by The Sound Lab on Spotify. Now, while you go and find the playlist and give it a save to listen to a little bit later on, we're going to play you our next interview from Riding the Low from 2000 Trees Festival just a few weeks ago. So, Riding the Low, how are you?
How's it? How you doing? Okay? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. You're here at 2000 Trees. How was your set and how's your day?
Yeah, it's good. It's a Saturday, isn't it? But it's the last day, so kind of we've rocked up with Saturday energy. Yeah. And it feels like everyone's kind of like, this is our last day, you know?
It feels weird. Yeah, I messed my timetable up as well, putting Saturdays into Fridays, and so confusing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you've been busy.
Yeah, we had Download a little bit earlier on in the year, cause kind of a couple of months, about last month I think it was. And we did a couple of Rock City shows. We've got a few shows coming up over the summer.
Yeah.
We're going up north. We've got a sort of a think tank in Newcastle, and a bit of Glasgow Cat House, which we've not done before.
Yeah.
We went up to Scotland to do a festival a number of years ago, but we've actually never. I don't think we've ever done a show up there.
No, we haven't. This will be the first one, Cat House, and then we've got Kendall as well. Kendall Collin, yeah. So they're coming in.
Yeah. Are you hoping to add some more in? To
yeah,
your
definitely.
diary?
Yeah, there's always things sort of almost penciled in. It's just waiting for confirmations and things like lining stuff up with the right dates. But yeah, we're trying to fill up as much as we can, aren't we? Really, in the run up to albums.
Yeah, I think we're a band that people like to see live.
Yeah.
We're people enjoy listening to the music, but it's a slightly different experience catching it in the flesh. And what we find is that people sort of come to watch us because they're a little bit curious, and then they leave with a load of merch. So do you know what I mean? So like people love it, they really do. Oh, there's a wasp.
You're being attacked.
I think you're all right. There's a hoverfly. What is it? I think. Let's not find out.
Yeah, let's not. Leave him to it. It'll be all right.
There we go.
He'll sting one of us, I'm sure. It'll be fine. And are you booking any more studio time?
We're rolling with it, aren't we? We're fortunate enough to be able to. We've got studio facilities that we can get access to, where we rehearse, and with Nat, our drummer. So that makes it easier to get in there, and it fits around all the scheduling as well. So we're just sort of slowly building up parts of the album and working on getting that mixed as well. So we're trying to do as much as we can, fit in around the upcoming dates,
Yeah, and considering you all do other stuff as well, how easy do you find it to kind of all get together and do shows and do studio time?
You have to commit, you have to decide, and it's very, very easy when you're in a band and everyone's got lives and jobs and families. It's very, very easy for people to kind of say, oh no, I can't do that tonight because of this, or I can't do that. But I think there has to be a sort of like a bit of an unspoken agreement when you do a band. That it's like, no, we're committing to this, and sometimes we've got to choose this. And I think that's the choice that we make, and we've decided to do that as a band. And we're not short of material, we're not short of music. We've got albums queued up, ready to be recorded. We've got plenty of life in us, and I think that it's just a nice time, because we've been doing this for nearly 20 years now. This is a project where we've all been friends for a long time, and it's something that is kind of in our blood a little bit. We've got to do it. So
yeah, nice. And when it comes to the writing side of things, how do tracks normally start off for you guys?
Yeah, so we've got a number of different ways of doing it. In the some things come from a jam, something comes from a collaboration where we're all together in a room. Sometimes it's that sort of stream of consciousness where I'll play a guitar thing, and then it goes to Paddy, and Paddy writes the song effectively. So I sort of like maybe provide a spark, and then some of those sparks turn into beasts. and the song arises when Paddy's kind of found what that is, and then we get in a room, don't we?
And that's the catalyst, isn't it? Where an idea goes from an idea to a song is when Paddy's got all the lyrics set out and the hooks and everything. Is like, right, we're off now. So if he gets stuff and it comes back with lyrics, you're onto something.
Nice. And you're coming up to 20 years as a band.
Exactly, yeah.
Shortly.
Yeah. You've done your research, sir.
I know my stuff. And considering that 20 year is coming up, are you going to be doing anything special for it?
Yeah, I think there's always the idea of that we might do something in our hometown, and celebrate that 20 years, where we started, because we're from Burn-on-Trent, and that's where we all live and where it all started. So that's what we'll probably end up doing, I think.
Yeah.
But we'll, like Rich says, we're around the place. I'm sure shows will come in. People like having us around, and we're a good band to work with. So that's what we do,
And considering you have been around for almost 20 years, how have you guys and how has the music evolved in those years?
That's a good one.
Do you want that one?
I'll do my best. I think you evolve how you manage it. I know that sounds a little bit boring, but you go from sort of you learn your stagecraft, and you learn how to arrange the songs and how to sort of get the most out of it for yourself. Because primarily, if you're not enjoying the song and it's not hitting you, there's no point. It's not going to hit anybody else. And then you figure out the performance and putting it onto the stage and do it that way. So we're sort of evolved in that way. But I think the core thing that makes it all tick hasn't really changed, because I mean, if we weren't all getting something out of it, I don't think it'd carry on. So it's the core thing hasn't really changed at all. I think we've evolved how we get that out there and put the performance together. It's more of a real show now, a bit more theatre, rather than just some youngsters with loads of energy banging out the tracks.
Yeah.
And I think, like most bands, it's been that exploration of how do you capture the thing that people experience live and get it onto record. And I think that's been one of our biggest challenges as a band, to go like, people really vibe this live, and there's a kind of a real sense of community in the room, when we play, and it's like, how do we get that? How do we capture that sense in sound on record? And I think that's something I think every band chases that, but that's our thing. That's what we're looking for.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with Riding the Low from 2000 Trees Festival 2025. Now, if you're loving today's interviews, then you can listen to them all again in an edited form on our international radio show. Yes, on our international radio show, you will get all of today's interviews, plus a live session and loads of new music too. So if you want to check that out, head to our website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk, and click International Radio Show. Nice and simple. So while you go and do that to listen to a little bit later on, we're going to play you our final new interview, and it comes from Terminal Sleep from 2000 Trees Festival. So, Terminal Sleep, how are you?
We are very well. Very well, thank you. I can't talk apparently.
You're here at 2000 Trees. How's your day been so far?
Yeah, pretty good. The show was really fun. It was very hot. It still is very hot.
It still is, yeah.
I'm still sweating like drenched. I'm sure you are. You've been here all day. Austin.
Yeah. I've tried to get the umbrella to work, but it's still hot. Be good. Yeah, they don't think about us though. Just shove us in the sun. We'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
And once you finish here today, what's your plan next?
This was our last show of our, we just did about 3 weeks. So day off tomorrow, then we fly home Sunday morning. With time zone, we won't get home till Monday night, so love that.
Sleep for a few days and then
back to work, back to the grind.
Yeah.
Such fun.
Oh God, I don't want to think about it.
But you've had a few weeks of touring. How have the shows been?
Oh, they've been fantastic. Yeah. Some of the festivals have been really surreal, just looking out into the crowd and you're like, holy shit, that's so many people. But then we've played a couple of smaller shows, did a couple of co-headline with Space and stuff. They were so much fun. So yeah, really stoked that we got to come back and do this run. Good. And
what's the plan for touring for the rest of the year? Are you hoping to get some more shows in?
We got a show with Speed, I think, 2 weeks after we get back. So that's a Melbourne,
just a one-off.
Melbourne one-off. And then I think we're looking at Southeast Asia in October. So I think that's the go. We got one festival booked, and we're trying to route it from there and maybe do a run of probably do you know what I want to do? I want to do 10 days and 5 shows hopefully. So we're gonna have actually chill and enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
We still enjoy ourselves if you're doing it back to back. But
it is nice
to
have a couple of days break in between.
So I'm hoping to do that, but we're still piecing the dots together. But it's coming to place, so it should be good.
Nice. And any studio time? Are you going to be back in there at any point?
We're looking at doing more pre-pro.
Yeah.
So that'll be towards the end of the year.
I've got a whole bunch of shit written, a lot. So I've got my pre-production songs. And I'm going to go and hang out with our engineer in maybe November, do the pre-pro on the pre-pro, make sure my songs aren't dog shit. I think he'll help me tidy them up a little bit, and then I think we'll hopefully look at recording early next year.
Okay.
As soon as we can.
Yeah, sounding good though? Sounding the stuff you've got?
Pretty wild. It's going to be hard for me to play live, but I've been sat behind my computer noodling for too long until the point where I'm playing this live is going to be
You always do.
Yeah.
And if you play it today it was so sweaty. I've got one big bit I do on a fucking dive bomb and my hands slipped off it. And if you do that shit with the new stuff, I'm going to be, play about 2 notes of about 15. So we'll make it work. It'll be alright.
Tell us a bit more about the writing side of things. How do the tracks normally start off?
I do a lot of just the demoing at home through things I'm influenced by or just stuff off the dome, and then we kind of working in with the band, and then Beck gets on and we write lyrical arrangements around that. It's pretty cool because I'll have a song kind of done, then I bring it to Beck and I'll be like, hey, do your thing, and then she'll come up with completely different phrasing places. Places in a song that I have mentally. So sometimes I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
but then
you hear do it again. He's like,
I give it
10, no, that makes sense.
A little bit, and I'm like, okay, no. And it can be, it's cool thing. It can make it way cooler than I initially think. So we have this good kind of push and pull between us.
Yeah, and then other times we'll be like, I envision the vocals to come in here, and I'm like, yeah, that does make sense. I will do that.
It's a good thing because we've got obviously Todd and Dustin as well, and they're they'll prepare 2 cents and maybe putting this sync in might be better. And so we do it.
Todd will be like, I don't want to play those drums there. That's insane. Let me change.
No, he'll do it.
He does do it. He's a legend.
He's a dude. So it'll get it done, but it's we got the newer shit's a little bit more insane than the last stuff, which a bit scared about, but once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
And then you have to play it. There's no choice.
Absolutely. And once you've kind of got your demos sorted and you go into the studio to record it, is it quite straightforward to get it to the finished track, or is there a lot of changes?
It is essentially. So the first 9 songs we put out was what I had on paper.
Yeah.
Bang did it, and obviously Beck vocals on it as well. And then from that onwards, Spineless and Shadows is pretty much us. The last one we did, so Elliot, who we also records Speed and also records a whole bunch of other bands, he's a very good producer, and I haven't worked with a producer beforehand, so it's kind of like we had a bit of a push and pull between ourselves, because I'm like, oh, I've written this is how the way it is, and you're like, oh, what about this? But it's like, usually if I chill the fuck out and take it on board, I'm like, oh, actually, that is a cooler idea. So
Elliot has a very good ear. And
he's very good. So with the new song, I had like the thing fleshed out. It's predominantly that. He was like, what about adding this bit here? And then I write it on the spot. And we're like, okay, no, it works. And it's like, it does benefit the music as well. So it was a nice thing. So now when I eventually give this insane shit to him, he'll be like, this is fucked.
Yeah,
but it's like, it's a good thing, but...
Yeah, and it's really good to record with, like, in the vocal sense, because he gets me to push my range a little bit more, whereas I would just sit in a particular area. So, especially the last song, he's like, I know you can go a little bit lower in this, like, do that. I'm like, okay. And then,
He's very good. He's got an insane, like the most insane ear I've ever recorded with.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And are the lyrics pretty straightforward to add, or is that a bit of a challenge?
I'll go through waves. So sometimes I could write a song in a day. Like, it just hits me. And I'm like, yep, I've got the flow of it. I know what it's going to be about. It's either angry or sad. So it just depends on what the song sounds like. And then sometimes I can have a bit of a mental blank and I might not be able to think of anything for about a week.
Yeah.
But usually if I just sort of chill out, have a day on the weekend, I can smash it out.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
And hope you enjoyed the interview there with Terminal Sleep from 2000 Trees Festival 2025. And this is the part of the show where we like to throw back in time to an interview we did a number of years ago, and we're only going back to 2022 here to chat to the Amazons at 2000 Trees Festival. So, back in 2022, this is what they had to say. So, the Amazons, how are you?
Bloomin' hell. Hot. Yep, perspirating.
Very hot.
Very, very happy to be here.
And back doing shows after a pandemic got in the way. What happened to you guys at that time when the pandemic hit?
Wow. Well, you know what? We were really fortunate to have finished a US tour. We got that wrapped up really about a week or so before everything shut down. Yeah. And then, I mean, it was such a long time. The lockdown and stuff. Like, there were so many phases of that lockdown, wasn't there? So many like chapters to the story. But we pretty much wrote a record, and we recorded it at the end of last year, and it's coming out in September.
Yeah, tell us about it, and how does it sound compared to the music that you released before the pandemic?
I think we like to think that every album's different, and we like to think that we evolve sonically and I guess in just as people, and that is just it's inevitably going to change the music that we make. The album's called How Will I Know If Heaven Will Find Me?
Yep.
And lyrically, I think it's probably the most cohesive in terms of its themes. Over the pandemic, I was kind of trying to navigate a long distance relationship, and as you can imagine, there's a lot of obstacles to that.
Yeah.
So a lot of the songs are really, really rooted in that, and just exploring how you love someone when they're physically absent for long periods of time.
Yeah. And what was it like writing in such different circumstances compared to when you wrote before? Because you would have had to have done most of the writing, I'm sure, from home.
I think it took us a little while to kind of warm into it, but we've always written for all of our albums. Matt will sort of come up with the skeleton of the song with like chords and a vocal melody, play it to us, and if we're vibing off it, it would have been in the studio, but in this case, like on our WhatsApp chat. We dig into a little bit more, so we started doing the same thing, but we would basically, once the restrictions had loosened up a little bit, we went to my flat in London and just did everything with programmed drums because we didn't have the space to do it. This is just for demos.
And a lot of those sounds ended up on the record we did it with Jim Abyss, who's an amazing producer we wanted to work with for a long time, so that was an amazing experience. But he was so keen to just keep, if something sounded good, we just kept it. And a lot of the stuff that kind of weird sounds that we would make in Chris's flat kind of ended up. And actually, to be fair, even something as straightforward as a vocal take for a song called One by One, we kept the whole vocal. Yeah. It was sick.
Oh, yeah. And when you step foot into into a studio, you've obviously got the demos kind of done and everything. You know what you're kind of going to do, but how does it go from that demo stage to a finished product?
Well, what I love about recording and writing music is that the journey that the songs go on, like the amount of the hundreds and of micro decisions that you make along the way, all seem to, however small, they kind of accumulate and they create this final kind of version of the song, which I love. And that the song's only really completed when you master it, which is right after a long mixing process. But I think there's just so many, between the demo and even from like what we would call monitor mixes, which is the mix of song that you get after recording it in the studio. That's usually sent to the mixer as like a reference of what to do. Even those micro decisions that we kind of make along the way, of like guitar tones and I don't know, the way the snare sounds. Do you want a fuller or you want something that's brighter? That kind of stuff. It all adds to it, and it really is. You've just got to let go, and you have to try and let go and just go with your instinct at that time. The challenge is when you don't have an opinion.
Yeah, truly, yeah. If you're just there like, they both sound good.
That's the most torturous part, rather than this doesn't sound. At least you know when something sounds good or not. So that's probably why working with Jim was so good, because he really had that casting vote of like, let's do this. And because we've loved his work for so long, we were 100% with him. So you know, he had the power. He had the power to do it.
Yeah.
Damn respect.
It's good. Yeah. No, good. And you've had the pleasure of being back out on the road, and you went and supported Royal Blood on their tour. How was that?
Overwhelming. It was overwhelming. In an amazing way, and also sometimes it was just kind of like, felt like an alien sometimes, like, or like this kind of overstimulated zombie is probably more apt, because you know, that was the first tour that we'd done outside of after everything happened, and to play to 10 to 15 20,000 people a night was just this fucking seat of the pants, baptism of fire experience.
The last sort of tour we'd done before that would have been the American one that Matt mentioned earlier, and that was in like bars in like, you know, 100. We're lucky. Yeah. So it was very
bit of a difference.
Very daunting. It was a proper trial by fire to come from what kind of felt like we were still writing and stuff, but we were kind of living. We weren't living the lives of like being in a band that we have done for so long. And then suddenly it's just like, bam, you're on stage, 20,000 people, you're in a band now, do this.
And you're trying to relearn your little tricks of the trade that you picked up to like stay healthy and like tour properly, efficiently. And you're like, how did I do this again?
Beers and pizza, Chinese.
We were so, exactly. That doesn't last very long, that's for sure. You definitely learn. But honestly, we were just so thankful to Mike and Ben for bringing us on that journey with us, because they were waiting for ages. You know, they put out an amazing record and they were waiting for so long to just tour the damn thing, and you know, it was great.
Yeah, for sure. And you've got your own headline tour coming up as well.
Yeah, we've got a headline tour in October around the UK, playing all over. We're playing we've got a date in Ireland as well, and we're heading to Europe, mainland Europe, and we're heading to the States as well. So
busy.
I mean, the album's out in September, and then it's kind of goodbye, mum and dad, goodbye, friends.
See you in a year's time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Now, when you were writing this for this record, you must have written even more than what's going on it. So, are you going to use these tracks for the next release, or is this the point where you bin them off and you start again?
I don't think we're going to bin anything off it. Well, I think we'll definitely do some editing and bin some stuff off. But this time round, we kind of just purely through the amount of time that we had and the kind of way we were writing, accumulated so many more songs than we traditionally or typically do in the Amazons. Usually we're like 12 songs written in the rehearsal room and then we'll record that. But this was very different. It was, 30, 35 songs, a lot of different sounds going on there. But through having that many songs, we kind of saw like a theme in the right songs to kind of tell the story that we wanted to tell this time round. But that meant there's a lot of leftover songs that were like super cool, but didn't have a place on this record, and loads of stuff that just wasn't finished in time. So we just didn't really stop writing, which is different for us. It's exciting.
And I hope you enjoyed the interview there with the Amazons from 2000 Trees Festival 2022. And that's the end of the show for another week, I am afraid. But don't you worry, we will be back next week with another episode of Interviews Unedited. But if you can't wait until then, social media at The Sound Lab, yes, on all the socials. And you can also check out the website, thesoundlabuk.co.uk. And we will be back here next week with another episode of Interviews Unedited. Goodbye.